G'day Ranker, welcome back. It's been so long since I've done a show and I apologise for that. But if there's one thing I've learned about AI, it really sucks your time. It was meant to be a productivity tool, and it is. It's great at that, and we're showing great gains with our clients and the way we use it with them. But what ends up happening is that you find out that you can do so much more with these tools. So what do? You do so much more. What your output is in an hour compared to what it might have been 3 years ago when these tools didn't exist is just mind-blowing. It's extraordinary. But we keep lifting the bar, like we did with email. Before we had email, no one used to type anything. We had a typing pool. Yes, go and look it up. And the typists would go and type things. Typing pools no longer exist, and typists don't exist because we're all doing it. We've all got that skill now. And a similar thing is happening with AI. There are certain tasks that are going to be disappearing, of course, like typing pools. But I saw this meme today. I don't know who created it, but well done. And basically, there's always been slop in the world. And a lot of what we're seeing at the moment with people using AI is that they're creating a lot more slop using AI. And it's everywhere, and we see it all over the place. But great work has also existed, right? And we're also seeing that great work can be done using AI. AI is a tool that just makes it easier to do what you do well, and it also obviously enables slop. But enough of that, because what I wanted to talk to you today about is don't worry about AI taking your job, as long as you're using the tools and you understand how you can increase your own output and amplify your own output. But have a think about how other people are using the tools as well. So OpenAI just had their big dev day this week, and they made a whole raft of announcements. The most significant one for me, from what I've seen, I haven't looked at all of them yet, because quite a few, but the one that they've released, which they're already demoing it, and you can go and use this in ChatGPT now, is they're enabling what they're calling the App SDK. And what that basically means is it enables app developers to bring their apps into the environment of ChatGPT. Now that's so important because by doing that, and the examples that they've used and are working right now are Booking.com, Expedia, a few other travel sites, Spotify. They've announced DoorDash is going to be doing it. Uber's going to be doing it. And what this means is that during a ChatGPT session, you can say, DoorDash me whatever the food it is you want from your DoorDash. And you will get the interface change into essentially a DoorDash experience that you can just order basically what you've told the AI, or what the AI suggested based on your diet, based on your exercise regime, based on what you've eaten this week, all those sorts of things. And it will then pop up a cart and bang, there's your order, let's go. And e-commerce sites are essentially apps, okay? We just don't call them that. So what does that mean for e-commerce store owners? It's huge. It's not here yet, and we've already done some preliminary building of bringing Shopify storefronts into ChatGPT. And the interesting thing is with this announcement this week is that it wasn't that long ago, 2 weeks maybe, that Shopify and OpenAI made that joint announcement that the Shopify cart is now going to be, or the checkout is now going to be available within ChatGPT. And, this was announced some months ago, but finally they said, okay, now it's happening. Well, with this SDK, from my reading of it, any e-commerce store is going to be able to have their checkout inside ChatGPT. And that's why we're already building some test cases with some test sites that we've got. And I won't get into the technicalities of it, but you think about how you're researching things now, and we can talk about Google with AI overviews, how that's changed. We still don't have AI mode in Australia yet. But essentially people are researching differently to what they used to research. And we showed examples of, certain search phrases that have just dropped off a cliff in Google because people now use AI to do those things. And I went through and did a curation of the 200 tabs I've got open at the moment. Yes, seriously. And I went looking for ones that were Google search tabs. And for me, if I've got, I used to have heaps of Google search tabs open because I was searching different things for different whatever. I found one, and it was basically a shopping experience that I was looking for in that tab. And I'd already done all my research, though, in another conversation inside Grok, right? So I had a birthday recently, so I went and got the 60-year tune-up and found out that I've got a genetic mutation that doesn't come with any superpowers, which kind of sucks. But it means I've got to take a different type of vitamin. But I got to that analysis all through a session with Grok. I gave Grok all my blood tests. I gave Grok all my notes from my doctor. I gave it X-ray, the whole kit and caboodle. And it was telling me, what vitamin supplements and all that sort of stuff. Now, what would have been really cool is if I could have just said, okay, where can I buy it? Give it to me now. And click, check, done. And it's those sorts of little, I guess, removal of friction in the buying process that's going to be so good for e-commerce retailers. Now, let's get back to Google. Google's still the big gorilla on the block. So don't do things like I spoke to one client yesterday, Matt, who heard about testing a technique to get found in ChatGPT, which was, putting all this information in white text on a white background. Now, if you've been watching this channel for the last 21 years, or 20 years, whatever it's been, you'll know that's something that we talked about back in the day, back in 2005, to say, don't do that. Number one, you're going to get penalized by Google, regardless if you're trying to target ChatGPT, okay? That's an old school keyword stuffing trick from millennia ago. Last millennia, in fact. I think that's right. Yeah. No. Someone will correct me in the comments. Thank you. But anyway, it's an old technique, and don't do it. And there are other techniques out there that people are working on. But the best thing that you can do as a business is make sure that your site is easy to use for your users. And that means taking into account things that they might be looking for when they're researching your products and services, which is what they're doing in ChatGPT. All right, and now there are techniques around that, what to do. It's old school SEO stuff that we've been talking about for years. The difference is now, I guess, is that we're paying more attention to it, because doing all of the things that we could have done, that we've tested on different sites and pages and stuff, the juice wasn't worth the squeeze when you're just considering Google as the only search tool in town. But when you're looking at AI, those things become more important. So they're the things that we've been doubling down on. But apart from that, it's about getting these tools inside your businesses and get people using them. And the reason it's so important, I'll just give you an example of one Shopify store this week where they're using AI extensively in their business, and they've seen great productivity gains. And of course, they're experiencing the same sorts of things that we are. It's like, oh, you can do so much more. Oh my God, we have all these projects going because, we've got extra experience or intelligence at our fingertips. But one of the things that we noticed with their data this week was that for the first time, we've seen ChatGPT revenue overtake all of Facebook revenue. And that includes their paid traffic, and that includes all their organic traffic. And they do a good organic gain on Facebook too. The Facebook conversion rate was, I think, sub 1%. I'll put it up on the screen in a second if I'm wrong. And the ChatGPT conversion rate was 3.47%. Now, when you think about that, that makes sense, because this Shopify store is in, I guess you'd call them replacement engineering type stuff, parts, that sort of thing. And what struck me is that their demographic is researching this in ChatGPT, right? That's significant. So it's already reaching, and we're talking, we're not talking a major amount of revenue. percentage given what they do overall, because of course, you know, their organic's up, their paid's up. We're not doing their Facebook. Thank you. But what it makes me think about is how people are using this, because with their business, it's people researching what part that they need for their equipment. And they don't have a checkout right now in ChatGPT. But imagine if they did. And so that's what we're already starting to think about, is what sort of additional apps can we tag onto the end of our client sites that are going to help their users inside a tool like ChatGPT. ChatGPT won't be the only one that does this. There'll be others. I mean, Google AI overviews. You know, when I went to my doctor the other day, she was using Google AI overviews. I was using Grok. I won. It's sad, but true. AI overviews is not great in my experience. I don't know if AI mode is faring any better. Gemini is great as a product, don't get me wrong. But its implementation as a search interface isn't working that well. And, you know, probably for similar reasons that it's a language model. It's not sort of the algorithm. They've tried to pack them all together. And it's not a great experience. So, I mean, for search, research, that sort of thing, I'm not using Google at all for that. I'm usually using Grok. But, you know, I'm using ChatGPT 5, and the ChatGPT experience has got a lot better for me of recent times. Don't know what they've done. But there's a lot happening in this e-commerce space. And the most important thing you should be doing right now is doubling down on the user experience, the brand, as well, as we've talked about for years and years and years. That's going to be so important. And start thinking about, and this was always important for search, right? But it's more important for AI, because the intent, I think, is certainly we're seeing a much higher conversion rate from the traffic, right? So that tells you that, you know, we have an audience that is much more likely to buy. So have a think about the sorts of questions that you and your sales team, especially customer service team, get asked, because that's what you need to zero in on. And that's going to help you in the era of AI, is your ability to be able to solve those problems, that main problem, and how you signpost that along the way to the various AI bots out there. Also, before we go, make sure you check your direct traffic. Seeing a lot of scraping at the moment on a lot of sites. And if you have any questions about any of this, then please leave a comment wherever you see this video, whether it be on YouTube, on X.com, on LinkedIn, on Facebook. I haven't set up a TikTok account, but I'm starting to feel like I should, because I'm seeing some good traffic from a couple of clients that are jumping into it. Let me know what you think in the comments, and please like, share, subscribe, and of course, always tell your friends, and have a great week.